Big steaks mean big smiles for steak lovers, but cooking them just right is a lot of pressure. We've got the foolproof technique to take your steak game to another level. You know, there's nothing like a huge steak to impress your friends. I'm talking about a 2-pound plus monster steak. Follow along as we share key steps to perfectly prepare a porterhouse big enough to feed 4 of your favorite people. Let's get it started. Let's jump right into the action with some lemon prep. We're going to use the best parts of a lemon. We want the juice for an easy marinade, but we want the zest for later. So we'll zest a lemon first before cutting it to juice it, either with a zester like this or a microplane. Set the zest aside and we'll cover that in plastic so it doesn't get dried out. And we'll get to juicing the lemon. I like to use a reamer like this to get all the juice I can get. We're going to put the juice in a large heavy-duty Ziploc bag, and we'll strain the seeds out on the way into the bag. This marinade is so simple. Next, we'll get fresh garlic into the action. Just smash a few cloves into the side of a chef knife to get them out of their skins. Get those knife skills working with some chopping action, and we'll go into the bag with that lemon juice. Here's a tip for you. If you want to get that garlic off the side of your chef knife that gets stuck on, just use a paring knife to scrape the chef knife clean. It keeps your hands cleaner too. Now put in some salt and pepper. I'm upping the game with our premium collection Hawaiian salt and our 5-pepper Mélange. Speaking of upping your game, check out these steaks. Certified Angus Beef brand 2.5-pound porterhouse steaks. So a porterhouse is 2 steaks in one with a large fillet on one side and a strip on the other. It's considered a T-bone, but the larger fillet makes it a porterhouse. I'm curious, which is your favorite steak? Are you a fan of the fillet or do you like the strip steak? Tell us in the comments. We'll put this steak in the bag and add a couple sprigs of fresh rosemary. Move the lemon juice, garlic, and seasoning around to coat things evenly. Then do your best to get most of the air out while you zip it up and go into the refrigerator overnight. Wait a minute, I forgot to put the pepper in. Actually, for the salt and pepper, it's probably better to sprinkle it directly on the steak so you know it's even on both sides. Okay, now I'll work on getting the excess air out of the bag and get both sides evenly coated with the lemon juice and head into the fridge overnight. All right, the party is on and it's time to cook the steak. Lay out a large heavy-duty piece of foil. Pull the steak out of the bag and put 1 rosemary sprig on each side of the steak and spread all the seasoning and juice onto the steak. Wrap things up into a nice package. We're going to reverse sear this steak by cooking it gently in the oven to start. So notice how the ends of the foil all end up on the top so that juices stay inside the foil pouch. And I'll place this package on a sheet tray fitted with a rack so that I can avoid direct contact with the sheet tray and thus have better even cooking. Now this will head into a 250-degree oven for 60 to 90 minutes. You could also do this in the grill at 250 degrees. Okay, don't miss this. This is important. I want to pull the steak about 20 degrees below my target of rare to medium rare. Pick your doneness here and pull it 20 degrees below your target. All right, it's had time to rest, so let's apply our sear to it. Before we hit the pan with a great sear on the outside, make sure to subscribe. Brush the steak with a little light olive oil. Lighter olive oil can handle the high heat we're about to put on the outside of this steak. I know it doesn't look so beautiful now, but we accomplished something very important. We carefully cooked both the fillet and strip sides of this porterhouse gently to medium rare. Now, to get the most flavor, we'll build a wonderful sear on the outside. I'm using a grill pan to get some grill marks. You could use a cast iron for all over sear or a charcoal grill, your preference. Either way, a high heat sear to get some browning is so important for flavor. I'll even press it so I can really get those good marks. With a good sear on both sides, we'll cut it up. Stay with me here. You don't want to miss this part. You want to make sure you expertly carve this up after spending so much time perfecting the cooking part. With a thick porterhouse like this, you can stand it up on its edge and carve each steak from either side of the T-bone, using a boning knife to cut the fillet off of one side and the strip off of the other. Just use that center bone as a guide for your knife. With both steaks off, put it all together on a serving platter. Put the bone down first. Slice each steak in about 1/4 inch strips. Put things back in place with the strip steak slices on one side and the fillet on the other. Look how beautiful that medium rare steak is. Now to finish it off, we want to add that lemon zest that we saved at the very beginning. Let's dive in. I'm going strip steak first. The brightness of the lemon and that high-end salt finishing with is perfect finish to it. Did you notice the doneness? Perimeter to perimeter, perfect doneness. That's what you get with reverse sear. Let's do a little tenderloin bite. This is a crowd pleaser. Everyone's gonna be happy. The tenderness of the filet, or whether you're the strip side, make sure to like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time in the test kitchen.